Steve.
Gentlemen.
Why, Steve?
So you're the new owner of an Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, $5. Yeah, we made a little bet.
Well,
Tell
Steve,
the people about the bet.
Steve was here 11:05, which
no,
is not a big deal.
No,
11. I
was logged in and I forgot there's a join button on the top right.
So he was there on time.
I was here,
which explains the no apology, which is what we were betting on. I bet on you saying, "Hey, sorry I'm late, guys," because that's 2 years in a row I've done that. This is like me betting on the commies.
I was here.
It's like me betting on the commies. How many he was here? Carson was like, that ball was in the right place.
Yeah. That join button was Jahan Dotson putting it into the air for a pick. Yeah.
Okay.
No. I learned from a year or two ago. Steve's not a big first of all, he's not a big late guy, always on time. But in the rare instance where he's not on time, he's not a big sorry guy. So I put it at plus 550.
I was gonna win $27 if you just said sorry, Steve. Now I'm fucking mad. I didn't care at all. Now I'm mad. That could have been my $27. And it's not even that $27 is going to buy me much. Just to see you have to pull 5 5s and 2 singles out of your pocket would have been awesome.
That would have been a Venmo.
All right. Yeah, for sure.
That's exactly.
Who does cash anymore?
Yeah.
My drug dealer. Okay, so actually he takes Venmo too. I'm joking. Totally a joke. All right, Steve. How excited are you? Bama, Tennessee. What are we like, an 11?
Yeah. It's got everything. Obviously, the story is Bryce Young. It's an AC joint. It's not going to get worse if he plays. He's not getting in a three-point stance. There's not going to be any contact in it. Obviously, if he gets hurt, that's the risk you take. But I don't see it being any worse. And then I saw the stuff like Monday morning. Did you see that coming out where they had the towels up in the players' tunnel? Like he was literally warming up before the A&M game and was announced in the stadium as a starter. So those are the lengths that Nick Saban will go to just to still give it to Jimbo. Like he announced starter in the building and then he comes out and he doesn't play.
That's beautiful.
It never stops. It never stops.
What was the fallout of that matchup last week? Have you heard anything about did they make nice or like? I know they talked before the game and it was kind of awkward looking from the drone point of view.
Yeah, I made the mistake of turning the channel as soon as it happened because I was watching other stuff. But yeah, it's done. It's done. I thought A&M was really damn impressive. Going back and watching that tape, Chris, I think you'll like a lot of the youth on the A&M D line.
Yeah.
Diggs, kid number 10, youngster, like they're all like sophomores and redshirt freshmen.
Yeah.
They're going to be a problem. They really are. And Jimbo's talked about building it, from the line out, and everybody wants to look at the problems. They look at the quarterback position, hasn't gone right, but man, they got some guys on the D line that I loved watching. They got after Alabama. On the road, they really showed me something. I think that's credit to their defense coordinator, DJ Durkin, and having his team ready. I know it was Milroe. I did think there were a lot more deep throws than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be more conservative in him in the run game.
Yeah.
But it's young quarterback mistakes, not taking care of the football. I was really upset when people were saying, Alabama gave A&M a chance to win that game. I say bullshit. That D-line caused 2 fumbles. They had another sack, which pushed the field goal back, which made it miss. So I thought A&M, did what they had to do. I think they learned a lot about themselves. Now, what do they do from here?
Yeah.
Is it just the regular 8-4 season for A&M? We'll see. But they got a bye week, which I think is really much needed. And then they still haven't been home since before last week of September. They go to South Carolina, and then they come home for some games that are winnable against good teams like Ole Miss and others.
The Midnight Yell guys are rusty, because you don't do that. Yeah. So, hey, Steve, is there still hope for us? Could we go to Knoxville like in a day? Can we do that?
I cannot.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I have a birthday party to attend for my friend Tom's son, so we're gonna bury that dream. Okay, Make, you buried it a long time. You were never going.
I've got a wedding.
Okay.
Hey, Steve.
You really do?
Yeah, my niece. My niece is getting married.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah. How far a drive do you think it is from Charlottesville
What's in the envelope?
Knoxville? What envelope?
What's in the envelope for your niece? for your knee.
Oh yeah. Money.
Good call.
That's a really good.
That
call.
is a good. I'm going to do that for the first time. Thank you, Steve. I've never handed somebody an envelope. That's a badass move.
How much money is in that
You've
envelope?
never given a gift at a wedding?
I've never handed somebody cash at a wedding as a gift. No, until this coming Saturday. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 500 chickens.
Wow, dude.
5 $100 bills.
Wow.
For the niece.
Wow.
For the niece.
Wonder if she's listening.
She's not.
All right. Well, how do your plays affect that envelope's contents?
So great question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put 500 chickens.
Yeah. There we go.
On the redacted tonight on Thursday Night Football.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna have.
Okay. So you feel real good about this
I
Thursday night
think I'm
game.
seeing Thursday night.
Damn it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Steve, the closest that Tennessee's been to Georgia or Bama has been 22 points in the last 11 games between all those teams. So like, is this the game that they keep it close? Is this the game that they win?
300. I'll do 300 chickens.
Oh,
well, 300 chickens for my niece at her wedding.
Your niece, come on.
We don't see each other much. I got plenty of nieces and nephews. 300 chickens. All right.
Are you and the wife going?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, you got to be more than 300. Got to be more than 300.
But
you can't be the cheap.
You can't
be the cheap uncle.
You can't go to a smaller denomination with the other denomination. So I can't like do 350, and 4 is a weird number. 500 just I
3
sat
is a
with
weird number. What the fuck do you mean? 3 is the weirdest number.
$300.
You might want to go down to 250.
That's like
honestly.
Different denominations. 300.
Yeah.
$300. That's like rent.
Get her some Bitcoin. That's all they want these days.
How much you think a plate is for dinner for one person at this wedding? How much is a plate?
Yeah, I don't know.
$60.
Probably 80, $100.
Up? Really?
I don't know. Weddings are expensive.
Oh. Okay, so Will Anderson. No, it's good. It's a good conversation for people at home that are considering being cheap as fuck. Anderson, 12 pressures last week. They got the cheetah package out there. You love that guy.
Heck yeah.
So can Tennessee's O-line hold up? Are they going to keep it close? Are they going to win? Because I got this feeling, man, and I feel like most people are going to be on Tennessee because of where their heart is. I mean, what are they catching a touchdown? And it seems like a lot of points at home, at Neyland, like all this hype. The world wants the good guys to win. So where do you think the money is, and who do you think covers?
Well, all the money is on Tennessee.
Yep.
All of it. And it started as soon as the line came out. I think maybe there was an 8 out there, and it went right to 7.5, 7.5, bouncing back. Obviously, the game is based on Bryce Young. Okay, I don't think Alabama could cover this number with Milroe at quarterback. I really don't, because this is a huge spot for Alabama and the receivers. Because think about what they've had at the receiver position. All the first-round picks, top 15 picks. You see the guys doing things in the league. There's been a lot of things said about these receivers and not being those guys, which is totally unfair when you think about it, knowing how spoiled Alabama fans have been with the wide receiver position. So going on the road, it wasn't great against Texas. And that's my question when I'm trying to get in right now. Is Texas with yours a better football team than Tennessee? I starting to think yes. So when I look at this matchup, Tennessee is going to do what they do. First down, they've got it all planned out. Guys are, they're calling the play based on where the ball is on the field, where the guy got tackled. It's all rehearsed and part of that tempo thing. And what I've seen a lot in college football early this year is these road teams defensively playing against tempo. They can't get lined up. And I'm wondering if things are too complicated, if coaches are trying to be too cute with their game plan, where it's like, hey, if we get a first down, let's jump the base and then we'll get one call in. Like, Chris, you could talk to this more than me, but like it's getting everybody on the same page. And Alabama's talent is in the secondary is a lot better than, or I should say, is improved.
Yeah.
And it gets better every week to me.
Yep.
So Tennessee's going to throw the deep balls. How many are they going to connect on? That's the difference, because there's going to be incompletions. There's going to be overthrows. There's going to be hits on the quarterback, that's for sure. And that's what it comes back to me in this whole game about Hendon Hooker. He's been absolutely phenomenal. I think it's 39 touchdowns and 2 picks since he took over as starter. But what is Bama going to do? I think they're going to blast that mesh point, and he's going to have to make really, really quick decisions. And as we know, that stuff eats on a quarterback as the game goes on. You saw it when Haynes King. I thought he was tough as hell last week hanging in there against Bama. But I think Bama has the goods. I'm not a fan of Tennessee's defense. That's how I've been slow to go on them, as a possible top 5 team, a possible team, taking on and beating the likes of Alabama and Georgia. So I look at Alabama in this dynamic. I think there's a lot more pressure on Tennessee here. And I think Alabama is fine with that. And I think they'll play loose. And if I have to lean, I'm taking Bama in this game.
Hendon Hooker, 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions at Virginia Tech while in Blacksburg. So a little bit different. Another reminder. Okay, so like Tennessee's tempo. It was interesting.
Fifth quickest team in the country.
Right, I know. And it's I don't know. Like when you're on the road, people are quiet, right, when you're on defense.
Yeah.
So that's one positive. I know that like it can tire you out. It's not September anymore. It's not going to be hot as fuck there, I would assume. It's going to be, nice and 70-ish in Charlottesville. We're not too far from Knoxville this weekend. I'm sure it's going to be temperate. So, like, you're not worried about the heat. Those are things that really worry me when you play a tempo team. Like, number one, the conditioning of your team. And number two, like how the crowd noise factors in. Now, if you're at home, it's hard for the home crowd to get going. Like, say this game was at Bama and Tennessee went down there and tried to run tempo. It's hard to keep the crowd noise up because the tempo kind of kills that a little bit when you're picking up a first down every 15, 20 seconds. So I don't know how they respond to this. But the communication, especially early in a year, in the heat, is fucking crazy. Hopefully Bama has got their feet under them to where, and it's going to be 78.
High of 78.
Ooh, I don't know. That could be kind of toasty.
Mostly sunny and beautiful in Knoxville.
So, I mean, another reason why maybe you should skip the wedding. I should skip the birthday party. There'll be more, not weddings.
Well,
we hope
50-50 shot.
Yeah, I mean, if you play the odds, there's going to be more birthdays. So, okay, Steve, what if we picked you up in a private jet?
Problem is I'm going to be out in Las Vegas.
Oh, never mind. Private jet's not coming. Okay, can you build me a teaser with Bama, Tennessee, and Oklahoma? Or no, Bama, Tennessee, and Penn State, Michigan, the 2 big dog games. Can you build me a teaser before we get into that Penn State, Michigan? I know you like Penn State.
I do.
Can you build me a teaser? You can use totals. You can use whatever you want.
I would tease the Bama, Tennessee over, down, and the Penn State, Michigan under, up.
Oh, interesting. A double total teaser.
Yeah.
You're getting fucking.
You want to get the math and analytics people mad on gambling Twitter? Do that.
They don't like that.
Oh my.
Never
God.
tease total. Scott hates that too. By the way, Scott. I think Scott texted me one time to be like, "Larry, let me help you out. You don't tease totals."
Yeah. So that's what I just say now when people want a teaser.
A 6-pointer, we get Penn State and Michigan over 44.5, Alabama and Tennessee under 71.5.
No. I want the other way.
Oh, so
we're going to reverse it.
You want to reverse it?
We're going to reverse it.
Tease the Michigan Penn State under up.
Okay, got it.
Well,
got that?
What we're going to do is we're going to reverse what we just did.
Okay.
We're going to do a 6-point teaser.
Okay.
Alabama, Tennessee over 59.5.
Okay.
Penn State, Michigan under 56.5.
That sounds better because I don't like teasing. Like even with a teaser, because when you tease a team, 2 teams and their totals are in like the 60s, the percentage that you're actually knocking that bad boy up is not relatively very much at all. So I'd much rather take the 6 points on a lower total game. Like 71 seems scary to me. It's up there for a reason, dude.
Yes.
You don't want to be. It's first quarter, it's 27-21, and you're like, I got to watch this?
I'm also telling you to do this because this will get you out of doing teasers quicker.
Yeah, you're right, but I don't do that many. The tease god.
I know.
The tease
god's been very tame this year.
Tease god is a lot like the real god. I'm not sure if he's really here anymore sometimes.
Okay, hey.
Very tame tease god.
If you were teasing and really juicing it to 7 points, would you prefer Alabama as a winner, a pick'em, or Tennessee plus 14?
I always take the dogs.
Tennessee plus 14.
You want to go with the Wong method. You want to cross the 7s and the 3s.
Yeah, that's what they say. But Alabama has a pick'em
they say it for
right
a reason.
There?
Yeah. Bama had a pick'em. I don't like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we think? Penn State, Michigan. Like Franklin 0-8 on the road against top 5 opponents. 2-13 against top 10 teams since beating Wisconsin. So not good, Bob. So what's the word here? You like Penn State regardless?
I do, because this Penn State team is built different, Chris.
Built different.
You think of Penn State, obviously NFL players, but you have a quarterback that's been there, 6-7 years. But he's finally in the second year of a system there. And I think you've seen Clifford get better. You go to Purdue, you get a win. You go to Auburn. I get it. Auburn's not a good football team. But you still go down to SEC country and bury a team. Like, that stuff normally doesn't happen. That shows me a lot for a team. And when I look at the team as a whole, they can run the football. Singleton averages over 7 yards a carry. Allen averages over 5 yards a carry. The offensive line is improved. Those things travel. Defensively, I love their secondary.
Yeah.
They got NFL guys at safety. Joey Porter Jr. is a stud. And I like those kind of things when I go on the road and I need to play. You know it. You learn a lot about yourselves when you go on the road.
Yeah.
And I think Penn State has already done that. So, they not only do they learn about themselves, now they got confidence. And that's what you need. And I think Michigan is still a little green in areas of not being tested with the likes of playing that in Indiana and getting Maryland coming in. So I think Penn State has all the goods here for an upset. I understand James Franklin hasn't been great. I go back and watch this. Penn State hung around with Michigan last year, and I thought it was a winnable game for them. So I don't think they're going to be, taken away by Michigan's speed or physicalness. But the game is between that Michigan offensive line and the Penn State defensive line. I think there's going to be some swing plays, but I think Penn State can put pressure and make McCarthy feel uncomfortable more than he has been all season. I'll take Penn State plus the points and a little nibble on the money line.
Chris, what time zone is Ann Arbor, Michigan in?
Oh, fuck, I think Central.
Eastern.
Is that so?
It is so. 12 o'clock Eastern kick.
That's interesting. Hey, Steve, and maybe Mike, because you're that's kind of your side team in college. I've heard
blue.
the Big House is not loud, so I kind of factor that in when I bet a dog.
It's
on
beautiful
the road.
and impressive, but I would not say the acoustics are loud. Conducive to a raucous home environment.
Yep. So I might bet Penn State with you guys. Okay. So Oklahoma State, TCU. We're gonna find out about Oklahoma State this weekend, huh? Because they're undefeated. Yeah.
Yes.
How legit are they? You faded them against Baylor, right? You weren't hot on them that weekend.
No.
Are you coming around, or has TCU got too much firepower?
I'm still in the tank for TCU, Chris.
Okay.
I watched them, and I just love the offense. And here's another thing for you. TCU leads the country in yards per play. Over 8 yards per play they average. Oklahoma State's defense was on the field for 104 plays last week against Texas Tech. Watching that tape, I'm looking at it. It's still the first quarter. Texas Tech ran 36 offensive plays in the first quarter last week.
Yeah.
Now, Oklahoma State loses some guys. They lost their center. Gundy said he's going to be back. They had some guys in the secondary. I'm trying to go through the depth chart. There was a guy playing corner. Wasn't even on the depth chart. But I'll give Oklahoma State credit. The last 5 series of the game, they were down in the second half. Last 5 series, Texas Tech got 0 points. So Oklahoma State, mounted up at home. But I think this is a different animal. I really do. I think this TCU offense is real. Quentin Johnston was a guy who had 17 targets last week, 14 catches, 201 yards, 2 touchdowns. This guy is so good. He had 33 catches last year. 33 catches last year. That ranked 278th in the country, and the Big 12 coaches voted him first team all Big 12. The dude's a freak, and I think he's going to be a problem. And I think about those secondary things, problems with Oklahoma State. If guys are down or dinged up, this is where the Big 12, they don't get credit for it. They will find that matchup and absolutely abuse it. So I think TCU has everything they want in a great road win at Kansas last week. And now coming home, they got a home crowd. They're undefeated since joining the Big 12 in ranked versus ranked games at home. I like the Horned Frogs laying the points.
These two teams are averaging 46.4 points per game, both of them.
Yeah.
And they play the same amount of games, 5. So that's 232. They've scored the same amount of points.
That's true.
Through 5 games.
No, it's crazy. I'm laughing at something else.
Big 12 football.
Yeah.
Amon G. Carter. You don't walk into Amon G. Carter Stadium and come out with a win.
Yeah.
I'm with Steve.
I got in that cryo sauna they got there once, Priscilla and I.
Oh, did you really?
Not together.
Not together. No. Hey, by the way, check out the Rosillo Lane Kiffin interview that comes out, I think, today. He's really jazzed about that.
Oh, you got a preview, or you just heard from Rye Guy?
Just check it out.
It's fire.
I hear it's fire.
Okay.
So
check out Stanford Steve and the Bear too, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I want to meet the Bear one day, dude. Can we hang out with the Bear one day?
He's in Knoxville.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, he is. He is. Oh my God. Okay, so we like TCU. Here's one: Clemson, Florida State. Can we please somebody beat Clemson? No.
That line smells. Look at that line.
What is the line?
Come on. Florida State's lost 2 in a row.
What's the line?
3.5.
Oh yeah, so give me Florida State.
Okay.
What say you?
I don't want anything to do with that game.
Doesn't it stink for a reason?
Yeah.
Hold on to your butts and bet the Seminoles, man.
Hey Steve, did you watch any of Syracuse, Virginia? Because I see you're on the orange.
Yeah, I don't know.
Too much.
Same question.
Too much.
Yeah.
And they did
too much.
If I had to guess, I'd say they're an average club, but you're on them. Why? Is it the spot for the Wolfpack?
Doesn't Leary have an injury?
Yes. Yeah, Larry's separated shoulder on his throwing shoulder.
Oh boy, yeah.
Now, they've sputtered all year, and I give NC State a lot of credit watching that game back last week. Like, lose your quarterback. Doran comes out and says, we are going to win this with defense. They put the clamps on Florida State. Scoreless second half. They got I think it's a 6-year kid, Jack Chambers. He's a transfer from, I think, Charleston Southern. I don't think he attempted man passes. He did the job. NC State got the win. But when I look at that, I just feel like Syracuse in this matchup, this is what they need. They're off a bye week. The Tucker and Schrader thing is the real deal. NC State's biggest rushers they've given up rush yards to are quarterbacks. And Schrader, he didn't. His worst game was Virginia, for sure. But that dude's a legit athlete. I think he causes problem with quarterback runs.
Yeah.
Against NC State, and I think for Syracuse, I've been saying all week, the cakewalk is over. There's no more Wagners. There's no more UConns. I'm not going to mention your school.
Thanks.
But now it's NC State. It's at Clemson. It's Notre Dame. It's at Pitt. At Wake Forest. Florida State. Now we're going to know about Syracuse. That's why I think they need this one, because it might be a while until they get another one. I think NC State's really behind the 8-ball offensively here, so I like the matchup in the Dome for Syracuse. Okay,
before we talk about the Pac-12 and you're maybe one that's going to really get you going this week, USC Utah. Yep. Did you see that there's a Brent Venables phone number floating around?
Oh boy.
Yeah, somebody
I did not.
Yeah, like an Oklahoma fan texted Brent Venables and was harassing him, and there was a back and forth there. I don't know if you guys saw that. It reminded me when somehow I got Mike Leach's phone number. Well, let's do Danny Amendola, and I'd call him drunk all the time. And he would stay on the phone for like an hour.
I got, I shouldn't say how I got it, but I knew with absolute certainty that I had college basketball official Jamie Lucky's cell phone number. And he had teed up Coach Bennett for the first time in Coach Bennett's career. And I think it was against Maryland. This is a decade ago now at this point. And I went out on the town and then gave Jamie a call.
Did you really?
Yeah,
did he pick?
No, he
pick
didn't. Left him a message. Regrettable.
Did you give him a text? A heads up text that you would be calling him?
No, I didn't. I just rang him up.
So let's go. So look at that Brent Venables story. It's pretty funny. So Brent Venables like basically calling the fan a coward because when he texted back, the guy wouldn't answer.
And good for Brent.
Yeah, good for Brent. Yeah. So USC Utah. All right. So there have been, since 2015, there have been 15 instances where a 6-0 or better team has been an underdog to a team with at least 2 losses. 15 teams have gone 3-12 straight up. So
Statman.
Yeah, Statman. That's from Cowboy Reed. So what do we think, man? What's up with the line? They haven't won at Utah since 2012, other than the COVID year. So what do you make of this game?
There's a lot to dissect in this one. Last time we saw SC on the road, it wasn't pretty. They went to Corvallis, got a late win against a good Oregon State team, which the following week went to Salt Lake City and hung with Utah, but had 4 turnovers, and that ultimately turned that game around. So Oregon State moved the football on Utah, and that's what this comes down to. Utah, I said it all last week, and that's why I like UCLA. Utah's defense is not what you're accustomed to seeing from a Utah team. They don't have 300-pound guys. They're going to cover up offensive linemen and let their linebackers run free and make plays. They're undersized, but their scheme is still their scheme, and I like their talent in their secondary. They've been tested. I think they're going to play great at home, and this Utah offense is more capable than past Utah teams. And when I think about Utah last week, that whole game turns on a red zone pick that Cam Rising throws. So I think Utah is going to be really buttoned up here. They have to get Caleb Williams on the ground. He does an unbelievable job of holding on to the ball, getting out of problems, and just getting yardage and getting out of bounds. Like it's a shame all these games are on field turf now, because like he would stick out with how clean his uniform is in a regular grass game. That's how much, or I should say, how less of times he is on the ground. But I do think Utah has the goods to pull this off, and I like Utah minus the points.
Okay. All right. So anything else in college football that interests you before we move into the professional ranks, Steve?
UCLA's on a bye. How fired up are you about your UCLA prediction preseason?
It all comes down to next week.
At Oregon.
Yeah, that's monstrous.
Yeah.
So it's been awesome to watch. And I just think in a general sense, guys, with the portal taking over the way it has, and I think Virginia actually falls into this. When I look at teams that already have a foundation, some kind of substance already, and I mean a coach that's been there a while and has players that have been in the program, and you bring guys into that, I think you've seen that work a lot better than a first-year guy who gets decimated by the portal and then has to overcompensate and bring guys in because he's too late in the recruiting board.
Right.
So I look at Oklahoma. I talked about it before the year. Venables said he had 50 guys before the first game that never put on an Oklahoma uniform. So when things go astray or, guys aren't happy with playing time, stuff like that, like they're just going to go at each other. There's no veteran leadership there that's going to say, pull them in and say, hey, this is how we do things here.
Yes.
And I think that stuff is starting to catch up. And, there's no voice. The leadership is lacking because of how there's not a lot of loyalty going on in the sport right now. So I think that's just something that I've found. And that's why I liked UCLA coming in, because I thought Chip did it the right way going about the guys he brought in. He needed help on defense. He went and got guys that have played a lot of football already, so they had experience. And when I looked at the schedule, they had some cupcakes early on. So knowing how the contact practices are limited now, he got to see those guys in game situations and then weed things out playing time wise. And I think when guys see themselves on tape, when you're in the room in your position, tape don't lie.
Yeah.
So I thought that thing, that helps progress teams and get better. And I think UCLA has been a great example of that.
Helix mattress.
Yes. Who's sleeping the best this week in the NFL? Nate?
Oh.
Steve.
I mean, it's like the good teams are playing good teams, so it's hard to figure. Like, the Chiefs, they're riding high, but they got the Bills coming to town. The Eagles are riding high, but they get the Cowboys coming to town, and this is the kind of game that the Cowboys can keep close and maybe win because of their defensive line and the injuries up front with the Eagles. Not saying they're going to win, but it's hard to say who's sleeping well this week.
I got one.
Yeah, I got one too. Go ahead.
Lovie Smith.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lovie Smith, pressure off, got to win, bye week.
Yeah.
What's better than that?
Nothing. I was going to say
Nothing.
maybe Detroit's sleeping well because they're not playing this week. But I'll let you go first.
Well, hey, the Tennessee Titans are also on a bye, right? So they're not playing a ball game, and they escaped D.C., where we've been looking at stinky lines now for about 3 weeks in a row, and they're leading the division. So my Helix mattress sleeper of the week is Derrick Henry, running back, Tennessee.
That's a good one. I guess I got to give one out, huh? It's really hard to say this week. I think Kirk Cousins is sleeping pretty well. He's going to play Skylar Thompson. Listen, that's going to be a tough ball game for them because of that defense. I know they'll play better than they played last week against the Jets, but you got to feel good. You're going down to Miami on the road. Your team's rolling, and Kirk Cousins might not be sleeping well.
Problem is, bus ride to the stadium's an hour and a half. So
yeah, that's part of it.
You got to get up a little bit earlier.
That's part of it. Matt Rule's sleeping well.
Yeah.
He's my Helix mattress sleeper of the week. The guy's making he's making more money than I had to work for that money, dude. It's just incredible.
Now offset.
Yeah.
That figure's offset dollar for dollar for the next gig he takes.
Yes.
So it's not just 40 on top of what he makes next go around.
And where do you think he goes next? I mean, that's a question for both of y'all.
Well, how does he feel about sanctions? Arizona State seems like a nice little fit.
Yeah, I guess so. Steve, what?
Steve just said no.
Yeah.
No, you moron.
Money has to talk in this situation, right?
It does.
Not really.
Are you looking at
40?
Not with the Carolina.
40
not
million?
with Carolina's 40. Well, what does he do? Sit out a year?
Over
and a half?
Yeah.
You think he sits out?
Yes.
None of these jobs that are open are worth taking.
No way.
The Nebraska job is not worth taking.
No.
Okay.
I think Colorado's a sick job if you eliminate all the.
Yeah. The marijuana.
Chris would take the Colorado job.
I would definitely take the Colorado job. I would definitely take the Colorado job. Okay. Let's move to locks. This is what are the standings? God damn it.
Yeah, who won last week?
You won.
Steve,
Piece of
3-0.
Steve.
And I'll repeat that, 3-0, Steve. And one more time because you're wearing a JMU sweatshirt. 3-0, Steve.
Good for why, Steve.
Yeah.
Chris and Macon both 1 and 2. Steve is running away with it. 11 total wins on the season for Steve.
Okay. So
and where are we?
Behind.
So I'm in in last place.
Macon's got 8. Yep.
Have
Chris.
you texted your Thursday night time machine so we can't really pick that game?
I'm going to stay away from Thursday night.
We'll stay away from it. Okay.
For this exercise.
Okay. Give me the Bills.
Okay.
-2. It's
Half.
a 2.5 as long as it's not 3. I just feel like the Bills are rolling. It's not a week to fade them, and they're headed to Arrowhead. I think they're the better football team, and I think a lot of people are coming on to the fact that the Chiefs are going to be fine, but maybe a little bit of an inflated. I mean, they found themselves down 17 points to the Raiders last week. They've lost close ball games against the Colts. So I got the Bills here. I'll give them out.
Okay, I'll go everybody's backdoor cover darling, the Atlanta Falcons at +1.5, +5.5 at home against San Francisco. You see San Francisco blow out
Could be
Carolina.
making history
Yeah,
here.
you could go half point Friday. You can add a half point to one of your picks.
Sick. Appreciate that. Won't do it here.
Okay.
+5.5. Niners are hanging out at where? The Greenbrier? I think they're at the Greenbrier in West Virginia.
Yeah, you got that right this time.
And you think the Niners have this whole 2 games on the East Coast thing figured out, and maybe they do, but they're banged up. They're injured bad. And
injured bad.
And Kyle Pitts could be coming back. Atlanta, both these teams run the clock. Total's probably pretty low. Maybe I should have taken the under. I'll take Atlanta +5.5 to cover.
Where have
home.
the totals been this year?
I know.
I
can't figure
Steve,
out totals.
the guy in the catbird seat.
Yeah. Chris, how many? You said you got the Bills. How many points do they score?
34.
Whoa.
I think they scored 34 points. I think it's 34-28.
Oh, I like that score.
All right.
Yeah.
good looking.
I'll take the Chiefs-Bills over 54.
You just used him for his pick.
Oh, I'm like a computer. Okay. Shit. I'll take the New Orleans Saints at home against the Bengals.
Interesting. I couldn't figure that one out.
Yeah, I like the Saints.
That's my favorite game. Favorite game of the weekend.
It's going to be a fun
one. I have
one.
no idea what's going to happen.
Alvin Kamara's back. A good week for that offense last week, and I think they do match up well. It's not like Geno Smith's coming to town. It's Joe Burrow. So give me the Saints.
Okay. I'll go Seattle Seahawks at home, plus 3 points. They welcome the Arizona Cardinals.
Damn it. That's on my list. That's a good one.
I just like to zag. Zona looks good in the Philly game. Could have won it. Seattle loses.
Did they look good?
Seattle on, the box score, they look good. They look good to Joe Public.
Yeah.
Seattle's offense. Talk about good. You want to talk about good? Seattle's offense, all right?
Yeah. I hate that I got to root against the Seahawks this weekend because I kind of want to bet that game with you.
You don't have to. No stakes here. Just pride. Seattle, home, plus 3.
I am going to take the Giants, plus 5.5 at home. I look at this matchup, Chris. I would love your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Who's the defensive coordinator for the Giants now?
Wink.
No. Wink. Yeah,
Yes.
Wink.
Maybe you should ask. Maybe you should get my thoughts on this.
Couple of years?
Steve, Baltimore.
In Baltimore, he knows Lamar very well. And coming off a week where late in that game, they blitzed the fuck out of Aaron Rodgers. Wink definitely looking pretty good this week. And honestly, the coordinator in Baltimore looked pretty good last week too, playing that too high and settling to play a lot of zone against Joe Burrow and taking what he's given.
Don't y'all think the line should be more like 3.5, 4? Does an elevated line a touch make you think that Vegas knows something?
No, because I think Vegas knows that the Giants are good. They're just maybe not as good as people think. And
plus London
and plus Green Bay, who's probably that elevates your public standings when Green Bay, if you really think it through, has not been their best. So, and you could buy that half point here, Steve.
To 6.
Yeah.
All right, Giants plus 6.
Okay.
Half point Friday.
Yeah, and I don't know if you like this. I threw this one out there earlier in the week that I think the Giants remind me of the Titans the last couple of years for a whole host of reasons. They're generational running back, New England castaway coach who doesn't act like Bill, and they're scrappy. They play good on both sides of the ball. They play solid. So I like the Giants, but I might lean your way, Steve. I'll go. Give me a total. I'll go Minnesota, Miami total under. And if there's a half point to buy there, I'll buy it to 46, I think, because right now I think it's 45.5. Fuck it. I'll buy the half point here. And I'll give you a total for the first time in a few weeks.
Okay. I like that. Skyler.
Yeah, rebound week for the fucking Dolphins at home. The defense, that is.
It's time. It's time for this bad team to look better. The Pittsburgh Steelers at home against Tampa Bay Bucks.
I love that.
I'll take that point. Go to 8.5.
Oh, it's 8.5. Okay.
I think it's down to 8 on the WinBet app. So up to 8.5. Half point Friday. Pickett's been thrown into some bad spots,
and this is not a great spot either.
This is not a great one.
It's not going to get easier either.
But it's not. We've said this a couple times this year, but it's not who you're playing; it's when you're playing them. And Mike Tomlin's going to have that team ready to play, man. Like Cam Hayward with an accidental retweet this week. There's people are talking about Tomlin. People are talking about that they were called toothless last week. Essentially, a lot of people question their effort. I think this is the week that they play hard and they keep it close because the Bucs are going to all these games that the Bucs play are going to be close. I feel like.
Well, in that Buffalo game was 31-3 at halftime, so they basically got to take half.
They had a half
off.
A bye.
Yeah.
Steve.
All right, I'm going to go another total. Buy it up a half point to 44. Under Patriots Browns.
Okay,
indeed.
Okay, so the picks are in. Any matchups you're excited about this week, Steve?
I want to see, the Eagles' offensive line with 3 guys. Like Kelsey came back. He's going to start the game. I wonder about, the left tackle position, the way Micah goes around. I'm going to go Micah Parsons versus Jeff Stoutland, Eagles offensive line coach.
Mm-hmm. This is one that I'm willing to happen. Put Aaron Donald outside like you did last week against Ike Ekwonu and just watch what happens, dude. You think Myles Garrett made him look bad? Yeah, give me that as a fun possibility this weekend.
I'll take Alec Pierce against the world. These Indianapolis Colts are 2-2-1. They got the Jags at home. I know they struggle against the Jags on the road. They tend to beat them at home. The line is low. It's 2 points. Alec Pierce emerged as a favorite target of Matt Ryan against the Broncos.
Yep.
And this is the week. You put 2 weeks together, you got a little something.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I have the Rams in my eliminator pool, Chris, and the Rams offense has struggled. I gave some words to Sean McVay last night on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
You have the best player in the world. I still think Aaron Donald is higher than Micah Parsons. I'm there, all right? Give Aaron Donald the ball. Put him in on offense.
I like that.
Give him the ball.
Fullback Aaron
Donald. He moves
Donald.
line of scrimmages like nobody else. He will move the line. He'll help you out. Give 99 a couple touches on offense.
I like
get
that.
the offense.
How about Brandon Staley against Nathaniel Hackett?
Wow.
Just who has the worst viral moment on Monday night? Who makes just the worst decision on Monday night? That is a Monday night game, yeah?
It is.
Yes.
Broncos are always in prime
Lucky
time.
us. Fridge Talk is going to be electric. Do you watch these Fridge Talks? He doesn't watch the Fridge Talks.
No, I have. I can't watch the entirety of that.
Yeah.
See, they're like 4 of them at a couple minutes a pop.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
a lot
they're
to
brilliant.
say.
It's
There's
just,
a lot to say.
It's a lot. Can you just have the guy on SportsCenter as a guest? I can
go.
trim
I
these
can do it
Fridge
from
Talks.
the fridge.
Yeah.
I really can. I
Okay.
can set up. It's like a ring light for me.
That would be electric.
Yeah, put me on SportsCenter.
He knows Scott Van Pelt.
Yep. Okay, guys, there's a lot of good football this weekend. I'm pretty excited. My excitement level is high, and
we'll bring it back around with the Coughlin and Timmy Chang
let's
Awards
do it.
to
Yeah,
put a bow on
who
it.
could forget? Not us.
Coughlin Award, no doubt about it. 12 targets, 11 catches, 2 touchdowns. The best tight end in America, Michael Mayer.
God damn, dude. It's his month too. It's October. Michael Mayer.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Not related to John.
No, and Dead and Company next year, June 3rd in Bristow, Virginia. We bought some tickets. You want to get in? That's close to you. Can we put you down for that? It's a lot.
For John Mayer?
Well, yeah. Well, did you know that John Mayer plays with the guys from the Grateful Dead?
No, I did not know that.
Okay.
I didn't know that either.
I couldn't name
Tell
one
me you've
Grateful
never
Dead
smoked
song.
pot without telling me you've never smoked pot.
Hey, would you say this Mayer kid, would you say his body is like a wonderland or what?
And then some.
Nice.
All right, give me a Timmy Chang.
Timmy Chang Award is going to go to Mike Bloomgren, head coach of Rice football, who is trying to win a road game for the very first time in a long time at Florida Atlantic. Rice is a pick in my column on ESPN.com in the chalk section. Rice football, I'm going back to the well, Chris. I gave them out week 1. Not the right side. They gave up 66 points, 3 pick sixes against USC. I'm hoping they play better in South Florida. Mike Bloomgren, Rice head football coach. Go get him, coach.
Okay. I know he listens. Stanford Steve, appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Or maybe we'll see you in Neyland. It's not too late. Like, we can still do this, man. So we love you, Steve.
Need better planning.
We love you,
Love
Steve.
is love.
We love you.
I love you guys too. And Chris, I'm sorry.
About?
Oh, well, that doesn't count. But that's nice. Good of you to
Yeah,
say it.
yeah. That's nice of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.